Welcome to the Bible reading journey, where we are traveling from Genesis to Revelation in a year. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're just joining us, welcome to the journey. And just jump in where we are because it's never too late to start. Lighthouse Ministry is happy to be traveling this road with you. And today we are on day number 91 of the Bible reading journey. Today's reading itinerary is the book of 1 Kings, chapters 1 through 4. And you might want to pause here and first dive into today's reading for yourself. Then join us back here for thoughts about today's journey. Today's journey is titled Solomon's Commission, A Throne from God. Well, welcome to the book of 1 Kings. If you've been on this journey with us from the beginning, you have now completed 10 of the 66 books of the Bible. As we continue our journey from the books of Samuel to the books of Kings, we read about the throne transition from David to his son Solomon. And as usual, in your text notes, there is an outline of the book of 1 Kings to guide us on our journey. We are in section 1A of the outline today. Chapter 1, New King in the Palace. Chapter 2, Justice in the Palace. And chapters 3 and 4, Wisdom in the Palace. Those are the readings that we have done today. Well, chapter 1, New King in the Palace. David's final days are bittersweet. Bitter because the family feuds resulting from past family failures continue as one of David's sons attempts to claim the throne without King David approving, appointing, or even knowing. The bittersweet days are sweet because King David lives to approve his son Solomon to be appointed and anointed to assume his position on the throne. Read the bittersweet details in chapter 1. Chapter 2, Justice in the Palace. The kingship transition takes place as David gives his final words of instructions to his son, King-elect Solomon. After King David's death, Solomon carries out his father's instructions and establishes his throne securely. Read those transition details in chapter 2. And then chapter 3 and 4, Wisdom in the Palace. Solomon has a dream where the Lord appears to him and asks him what he wants. Solomon humbly admits that the job of king of Israel is a large one that he is incapable of carrying out well on his own. He asks the Lord for wisdom. God is so pleased with this request that he gives Solomon more wisdom than anyone else ever, and additionally gives him wealth and fame that he didn't even ask for. Don't miss this conversation in chapter 3, verses 5 through 14. And then continue reading for an extreme example of wisdom from the new king when two mothers are fighting over a dead and an alive baby. Check out that crazy story in chapter 3, verses 16 through 28. More wisdom is described in chapter 4 with how Solomon sets up his kingdom rule. Well, Solomon had some big shoes to fill. He had choices of how he could have responded to such an overwhelming responsibility. Well, one, he could have faltered in fear and insecurity. Nope. He didn't do that. 2, He could have had presumptuous pride and self-sufficiency. Nope, he didn't do that. Third, he could follow in his earthly father's footsteps of following his heavenly Father. Yep, that's what he did. Solomon chose to bow humbly before God and to stand firm for the people. Solomon recognized that he needed God's help, asked for his help, and applied his help in governing God's nation. Our thought of the day comes from 1 Kings 3:9. This is the New Living Translation. Give me an understanding heart so that I can govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. For who by himself is able to govern this great people of yours? Our challenge of the day: instead of faltering in fear or pride, choose to follow the Heavenly Father for wisdom and strength to accomplish your responsibilities and tasks. The text notes contain information on how to find us on YouTube, Facebook, and email. Happy travels today. See you next time. This is Lisa at Lighthouse. God bless.